Hey guys, my name is Alexandra Valentine and you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, you are welcome. Here we post all things sewing, fashion related and sewing tutorials. If this is something you're interested in, you might want to join the family by hitting on the subscribe button and liking this video if you end up enjoying it. For my returning viewers, you are welcome once again. So in today's class, we'll be drafting and cutting this 6 pieces top, peplum top. So I have gone ahead to draw out the basic bodies on my pattern paper, and I'll just use this pattern paper to draft out the remaining parts. So right now I'm putting that's my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 7 divided by 2. It's 3.5. So you see I'm putting 3.5 there because because I'm using a pattern paper. Yeah, so when I'm cutting it on my fabric, I'll just add half to it for stitching allowance. So I'm putting 3.5 right now. So the 3.5, I'm placing it on all the horizontal lines. That's the bust point, under bust, waistline, and the blouse length, all the way down to the blouse length. So I'm just going to connect those points that I marked earlier into a straight line so that we'll have our dart leg. So this is what we have at the end of the day. So on this the bust point, I'm just going to connect with my curve ruler like this to meet the midpoint of my armhole. If I'm going to be dropping a proper video on how to draft out a basic body's full scale so that you understand the way I go about my drafting out of my basic bodies. So after connecting that bust point to my armhole, I am going to come at the under bust here and I'll just mark 2.5 inches because this is going to be a princess dart. So this is the way we'll go about it. So that 2.5 inches, I'm going to extend it down to the waistline and also to the bottom length. Then I'll just connect all the 3 points in a straight line. So after that, from the under bust now, I'm just going to curve with my curve ruler, making sure that you're using the fullest part of your curve ruler, and then I'll curve it into my bust point as to meet my bust point on the dart leg. So you can see that that bust here shape that is having right now. So at that armhole level now, I am just going to go up by 1/2 inch and down by 1/2 inch. That part that extended into the armhole, yeah, I'm just going to go up by 1/2 inch and then come down by 1/2 inch, just for like chest tightening, so that there will be no gaping around the chest area. I have a lot of videos on how to go about drafting a princess dart, so you might want to go and watch it. I'll just leave the links below for you to watch it. So those points now that I marked, I'm going to use my curve ruler again and curve it to meet the bust point on the both points that I marked. Because of that tightness, the upper curve will be longer than the lower curve, so we want to know exactly how much it will be longer than the other one with. So I just went ahead to measure the upper one and then measure the lower one as well. Then the remaining, I am just going to mark it. That's the remaining inches that will be left when I get to the end. You see what's there, you see that the tape is longer than what is there, so I'm just going to mark it and then extend the line to just continue into the second curve. I don't know if I'm making sense, but just watch it and then you get what I'm doing. So from there, I'm going to get a new armhole, so I'm just going to extend it to still meet my original armhole. Okay, that's my round bust measurements divided by 4 at that point. Yeah, so the next thing to do right now is to put my body measurement. So I'm going to put my waist measurements, which is my waist measurements divided by 4, then plus 2 inches allowance, and then plus that 2.5 inches that we took out from the underbust. Okay, that's a total of 5.5 inches. So I am also going to add 2 inches to the bust point, which I've already done earlier. So I'm just going to connect the 2 points in a straight line like this. And then for the blouse length, I'm just going to use my ruler now and just make a curve, a simple curve like this, because at the end of the day, this pattern, this top is going to be a peplum, so I just made a curve around that side. So for the neck area, I'm going for a high neck because I want to attach like a collar that I can tie. I don't know how to explain it, so I'm just going to do 3 by 3 for the width and the length of the neck width of the neck area. Then I'll just make the normal round neck curve. That's basically it. Then to the shoulder slant, I just went down from the shoulder, or from the starting point by 1 around that shoulder area. Then I connected it. I made the slant line into the neckline. That's just it. So the part that I shade now is the part that will be going out. Of this particular pattern paper. So I'm just going to go ahead now to cut it. So you might just want to watch and see the way I'm going about it. Then you go about yours that way. So that is it for the front pattern. So let's just go straight into the back. So I have gone ahead to also draft out the back, just a basic bodies for back pattern: the neck, the shoulder, the armhole, and then the body measurement. So this line that you see in center is just the dart leg. So it's my dart, that's my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 4, divided by 2, I mean. Then I just placed it there. Then I went in and out by half inch. Then I connected it all the way to meet the bust point, and then I also connected it to meet the base as well. So that's just it for the dart. And also the difference between the front and the back is just the zipper, which is 2 inches before the starting line, and then the neck area is a little bit higher than the front area. So I'm just going to leave a detailed tutorial video on how to go about a full scale bodice. Okay, if this is something you're interested in, just leave a comment in the comment section telling me that you're interested in it, and I'll make a video of that and I'll drop it. So right now I'm going to divide what is left of my shoulder into 2, and then I'll just mark it and connect it to the dart leg. Okay, so just divide what is left of your shoulder, that's from your neck point to the end of your shoulder. Okay, divide it into 2 and then just connect it in a straight line to meet the dart leg. So that's basically all for that, and I'll just go ahead and cut out these pieces as well. Now that is done, these are all my pattern paper, the front pieces and the back pieces. Now to the tricky part, because this is not the end of the pattern drafting, okay, because this is a 6 pieces dress. So the tricky part now is just around the magic that was done to this clothes is just around the waist. So I'm going to cut out a sheet of paper and then I will attach it to the waist area. So this is me making sure that the pattern paper extends all the way to the waistline. Okay, so I'm just going to keep that aside and also cut another paper for the other side, or yeah, the other side of the front pattern. Okay, so I am also going to add an extra sheet of paper to at the joining side as well. Okay, so this is, I've gone ahead to use my gum to tape it down, make sure everything is together. Okay, so just to make the center front pattern paper visible, just to make sure that you guys know where this stop, I'm just rolling a line across. Then on that line I am going at the bottom part, I'm going in by 4 inches. Then I'm just going to mark it and then connect it to the waistline in a straight line. Do you understand? If you don't understand the English I'm speaking, just watch it and then do the same thing I'm doing. Okay, I believe this is clear enough for you to see. So I'm going to cut it at that line now that I ruled. Okay, so this is what we have for the center front pattern paper. So now for the this other side of the front pattern paper, I've also gone ahead to gum or stick my paper, my extra paper to the main patterns. Okay, so on the bottom I'm coming in or out by 4 inches, and then I'll connect it to the waistline just like I did before, and I'll also do the same thing for the side as well. So I'm just going to go in from that point now by 4 inches. You can see my paper is not actually enough, so I just decided to reduce it a bit since that part already is longer than necessary. Okay, so I just make sure that everything is equal for yours, like it's 4 inches for every other part. Okay, so I'm just going to connect it in a straight line and then I'll just cut across those lines now that I have ruled. So this is my front pieces that I have modified. So we'll keep this aside and we'll work on the 2 pieces for the back. So these are the 2 pieces for the back. I have also gone ahead to attach my extra papers on both sides. Okay, so right now I am going to come out by 4 inches. 4 inches, I'm marking 3. I just corrected myself now. Yeah, by 4 inches, then I'll connect it to the waistline. Okay, and then I'll just practically do the same thing for every other part that I attached, like every other extra paper that I attached. Come out or go in by 4 inches, then connect it in a straight line to meet the waistline. Okay, that's just it. Then I'll cut through. Basically just watch me do it and then do the same thing to yours. So these are my modified pattern papers now. So I'll just use these papers now and go ahead and cut out my fabrics. So I went ahead to cut out the main fabric and also lining pieces that I'll use to turn out the rough edges. Okay, so I have cut it out and I've also pressed hairstay to it. Okay, so at the end of the day, this is what I achieved. So please guys, stay tuned for the sewing part. This video was already too long, so I had to make it into part 1 and part 2. So stay tuned guys, and hit on the notification bell to stay notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you very much guys.